Hello!
Hi! Hi!
Guess who we are live with this week? The lovely Tammy MacIntosh. Welcome to the Interrogation Room.
Thank you all for having me. I'm a little bit nervous. I actually feel like I'm about to be interrogated for real.
You are. That's what happens in this room. So don't get comfy. We're going to really unpack Belly of the Beast. We're going to get deep down to all the Kaz stuff that everyone has been asking and wanting to know the answers to. And I am their person to get all this information out of you.
All right, guys, shoot your questions.
All right, so let's start with WoW Ep 5. I am just going to put it out there. Best ep of the season for me to date. I
Thank you. That's really
love
sweet.
it.
Thank you.
Standing O, round of applause, Oscar, Logie, actor for
Too much.
Robbie and Tammy and that epic van
Robbie was
scene.
extraordinary.
Just amazing. All the feels. I mean, like from the moment that, you know, that Will decides to take the van to the moment where he pulls it over and finally says to Kaz, like, you're going to ruin my career. And you finally see that little bit of vulnerable side of Kaz when he leaves.
Little bit. I swear to God for Kaz, I think when I read the script, I think she actually thought that was it for her. You know, because she's come through a whole lot of bad relationships with men, and she knows that voice, she knows that look, and she knows to just wait for the worst to happen. And I think in those moments she was just waiting to be killed.
Yeah, and then you saw it almost like she caught her breath, like, oh my God, he left. Like, he didn't actually do anything. It was like a sense of relief when he actually left the van. Did you feel, is that what, when she actually broke down?
Totally, yeah.
It was, and then we go on to the scene where the van actually tumbles, and then obviously the rescue part. I mean, there's so much to go on there. So I don't want to dupe fans of everything. So let's go back to the conversation between Will and Kaz. And do you want to talk us through why that's so prevalent to Kaz and what that meant to Kaz given her background?
Yeah, like I just said, you know, she has had a history starting with, you know, those of you that have followed the season and last season through horrible abuse in her childhood, and then has gone on as most women do, not by choice but through habit and familiarity, where you then choose partners who just aren't right for you. And there's that really weird thing where you start to, because abuse is all you've known, you start to give that abusive partner the chance to be better, or the chance to maybe next time not go so far, and when they apologise, to believe them and to hang in there and to love them, yet, you know, be abused sexually, verbally, emotionally, financially, all those things. So I think for her then, knowing from the history of when Will came to Kaz Proctor's house when she was on the outside with the red right hand,
yes.
thinking that she was responsible for Harry's murder, there has just been, she's just wanted to knife him ever since. And so that growing discomfort between those two, I think she thought in that van moment that was it. And she was ready for it, and she was just waiting for it. So when he left the van, it was extraordinary.
Yeah.
So it's that thing of knowing abuse so well and holding your own and trying not to show it and just surrendering to the fact that you think, you know, the worst is about to happen again.
Yeah, it was intense. And then we have that scene, and then we go on to this incredible, I guess we call it the crash sequence with the van turning, which was just amazing. Are you able to unpack that a little bit for us from behind the scenes of how that's actually shot, how that sequence works?
Spoiler alert, I don't know how many of you are watching from OS, and I don't want to mess it up for you, although probably you shouldn't be watching if you don't want to know. But that was actually a van put onto mechanisms, almost like that thing at Luna Park where you go into the roundy thing and you can walk around on it and they just keep turning it. So they turned that and they nailed the cameras into the van for the shots where the van was closed and just spun the crap out of it for half a day. And so they did my stuff in the back, and then they did Robbie and the guard stuff up front. But, you know, everything about this show, everything you do is done with such a sense of realism that it's really weird as an actor on this particular show. Most other shows in my life I've done, you can do your scenes and go home at the end of the day wash it off. You've got your kid, you've got your chooks, you've got your dogs, you've got your shopping, you've got your husband, whatever you've got going on, you've got to cook meals. It goes away. That night, after spending half a day in that van, I literally felt like I had psychological trauma of having had a car accident as Tammy that day. It was just remarkable. And Celia Island is my lifeline down there. She is Dr. Celia. If you have any ailment or anything like that, or you're in a head mess or anything, she's the one to be with and break everything down and talk through things. She's incredibly understanding and empathetic and just a solid human being, as well as an exceptional actor. So I spent a lot of time on the phone to her that night and the day after, and throughout those, water scenes as well.
Yeah, because
thank you, Seals.
We all love Seals.
Oh, she's incredible.
And then we go from this incredible sequence, which was these two scenes, and then we go to the rescue scene, and like, my God, there was panic, there was water, there was unconscious passengers, there's a sinking van, there's Kaz in the van whilst it's sinking, there's this emotive musical track, there's the freeze frame of Kaz's sheer panic with Will not coming out of the water, there's that little moment where we know where the Wentworth riders will go, and it's like, is Will a goner? Is he actually going to come back out of the water?
Because you never know.
You don't know.
For God's sake, this show, like even when you get scripts, you can read a script at a read-through and go, oh my God, I'm dead. No heads up. So yeah, totally he could have died then.
Yeah.
Totally Kaz could have, he could have taken her head off in the back of the van. Can I just do a quick shout out to the director of episode 5, and then what you're going to see next week is 6, Fiona Banks. An extraordinary woman, really calm and conservative and softly spoken, and not what you would imagine a Wentworth director to be. First time director, her music, her thematics, her shots, everything else, and our editor Ben Joss. Incredible work by those two. Robbie and I actually bought Fiona and Ben flowers at the back end of this episode that you've just seen, because of the care and the attention and the months and months and months of sitting down at meetings going, okay, so this will be the truck, this will be the thing, this is what will happen. Now you'll have safety people here, and then you'll have this big tank, and you'll have that. And, there'll be scuba tanks, there'll be a whole kind of underwater safety team from the Queensland, lot of Warner Brothers. And Robbie and I were just sitting back initially going, when is this episode happening?
What is this episode?
But for Fiona Banks, our director, and Ben Joss, and everyone, Kate Saunders in art department, just want to shout out to you guys. Couldn't have done any of it without them.
They're the secret stars of Wentworth.
But we needed safety. I needed safety nets. Robbie is just a superhero. He's just a superhero. But I went off track. Sorry, but I just wanted to say thanks.
That's what we do here in the Interrogation Room, because then we get out more information out of you, and you don't realise it's happening. But that scene, I mean, it had all the emotion in it that we couldn't have even dreamed of. But then the logistics and the difficulty on top of that. And we were talking about this a little bit briefly earlier about how you were feeling and how Robbie was feeling, what the vibe was feeling. And you mentioned that you actually film it out of sequence. So it's even harder to be able to bring that to the scene. It was
totally out of sequence. I might be wrong, but I'm not sure if it was like the first couple of days in the river with the van. But we actually shot that stuff before Kaz and Will in the van, and before all the car accident stuff, and before being in a 200-gallon water tank with the car being dipped in and out all day. We shot the final bit of coming out first up. So it was really bizarre to get a handle on the amount of adrenaline, endorphins, all the survival mechanics that go on in a physical body in that state of trauma. To bring that to the fore, the pitch of the level of where we're at, and we actually got out of the water for the first bit, and we kind of sat on the bank and looked at each other and went, where are we in this? Like, God, what have we been through? Like, how has that affected us, And so we had to just, we had this big spa bath, this portable spa by this river, because it was goddamn freezing cold. So in between each bit of getting out and sitting on the bank, and there was a nurse there who would take our temperature, and if our temperature dropped below 34 degrees Celsius. We had to go straight into the thing. No matter what we were shooting or what position the crane was in or anything like that, it's like, I want to check them. Robbie, Tammy, out. Well, no, can we just do one more take? Like, no. Because, hypothermia would start to set in. And we had stunt people and camera people in the water. And, big tough guys go, oh, no, I'm all right. But some of them slipped into hypothermia.
Wow.
And the nurse would just had to get really vigilant. And, she became the showrunner on those days, going, out. And she sat us all on the spa. We've got all these behind-the-scenes shots of us in the spa with chicken noodle soup and beanies on and all this stuff. There's like 8 of us all in there, having a party and then back into the river kind of, But she wouldn't let us out until our temperature had risen back to 36.
Wow.
So all that extreme stuff, as well as just the basic character logistics.
I know, as I'm saying, you've not just brought the drama and that magic scene, but as I'm saying, the logistics and all of the difficulties behind it to get there is magnificent. And that's why I wanted to just share it with the audiences, because it's such it just goes to show, the writers of this show, but not just the writers, the actors, the unsung heroes, the nurse on set, bring it all together, which make it the show that it is.
Such an incredible show. I'd have to pinch myself every now and then to go, I'm actually on that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. Before we completely, actually, what I want to touch on was, before we move on from that, is how the scene starts with that incredible scene that we just spoke about with Kaz and Will in the truck, and Will being like, leave me alone, and Kaz being like, oh my God, was that the end? To this end little bit when it ends. And the empathy and the genuine concern on Will's face going to Kaz, are you all right? Are you all right? Is this full 360 from where the scene actually started. And I think that's just what completes the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite incredible, because had I been playing Will with little Kaz Proctor, I probably would have let her die. Because she's gone to the ombudsman, she's, had it in for him for so long. And so not only is he, being an incredible guy, but he's also sacrificing his career to do it, because he's got no idea that she won't just go, well, thanks, but I'm still going ahead with this because you're a drug dealer. Because, she turns on a dime, like she has this switch that just goes, and that's really intense as well. But I think that was so incredible of him. And also for Kaz, I think it's the first time she's ever had a male treat her so gently. I think I'm going to have a cry.
You're the first person I made cry in the interrogation room.
No, because Kaz just hasn't really ever felt a gentle heart or a gentle touch or something that she can rely on. Get a grip, MacIntosh. I don't know why I did my makeup before coming here, because I just watched that ep and was like, ah. But I don't think she's ever had that. So I think, for her, looking at him as the first human being and the first man in her life ever that she felt an inkling of affection for was a real shock to her.
Yeah.
And she genuinely believes that his heart is good.
Yeah.
Which is an incredible move forward for Kaz.
And it's not so much in what she says, it's the look, it's the eyes, it's the almost like she's just as much shock of what she's feeling as what's happening at the same time.
Yeah, and he's not playing the macho man going, the security guard or the prison officer, you're all right. He actually cares.
It's really genuine.
And she's got a great bullshit radar. Well, she thinks she does. But
like you said, though, I think the thing is with Kaz is that she's been so hurt that she's really quick to put her guard up.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's just been hurt so many times.
Self-preservation. So, she's the queen of self-preservation.
Absolutely. So before we completely move on, last little roundup is that, do we think, I think everyone's thinking it, do we think that this is a new beginning for Mr. J and Kaz? Is this going to be the catalyst for a new beginning?
Look, I know that would be perfect. It would be a fabulous Hollywood beginning, but it is Wentworth. And, if they were to go back and in episodes that are yet to screen, if he, falls back into the drug thing, or if he mistreats somebody else, or something is misinterpreted but Kaz sees it as a step backwards, that guard will come straight back up. It's a really long journey for Kaz to take those baby steps. That was a massive leap on the bank after that rescue, because he should have just let her die. But still, she'll be very, very cautious.
Yeah, she'll still be on guard.
She'll
still be on guard.
She'll still be suspicious. It's in her blood.
Yeah. That's why we love her. She brings a different dynamic to the
Poor
team.
Kazza.
All right, so we'll just leave that up there because there's just so many things that we can unpack, and I don't want to make Tammy cry again, or I won't be able to get anyone else back in my interrogation room. And let's move on to talk about Tammy. This is my favourite part. We get to talk about you. No, I'll be
Can I just talk about Boomer scenes, hanging Tina over the
Oh.
railing?
I think everyone, like, let's see some hearts if they had a wish, she had just dropped Tina over.
Oh my
Just
god!
literally let her drop, and Jake hadn't come in when he did, and we were just done with it.
And Kate Atkinson and Celia Ireland and Nicole and Kate J. Love this cast. I'm so sorry, but when you come back to Tammy, I've got to deflect because they're brilliant, and I don't look half as good without their good work around me. We all lift each other up.
Absolutely.
Good bunch of babes.
We just come off the back of the Logies and you're all together. You're like a big family reunion, and that's what I think everyone loves too.
Because what's nice about the Logies is that we're not walking around hallways, looking at each other after scenes going, baby, you okay? You all right? That was amazing. I just watched the monitor. You were incredible. And, someone in your arms going, or someone just coming out of a fight or something. It's nice to be at the Logies and just go, because Wentworth is intense.
Yeah, it is.
It's intense. These women are so dysfunctional and broken, and, it's never a day at the park. Except for the scene with the girls and Doreen.
Yeah, that was fun.
Sorry, I'm getting excited.
No, that was fun.
I loved that.
Yeah.
Because I don't get to watch that being shot. So then when you watch it, you go, why can't I be in fun scenes
Yeah,
like
because
that?
I guess the great way in which the writers and producers and directors and everyone plays every episode is you might have the dark or the violent scenes, but they're always sugar-coated with that little bit of light.
Yeah.
Whether it's some humour from Boomer, whether it's a scene like that with Doreen, whether it's just something, and that's what keeps
That's not very Indigenous.
flow.
I'm 26. You look older. Love. Love
But
you,
Kaz
girls.
hasn't really had many of the light scenes to date. She's been...
Well, I can't think of the lightest scene she's ever had.
No.
Out in the yard with the conjugal rights thing.
Oh, that's right, yes.
What do we want? The right to... When do we want it now?
Yeah.
That was a bit of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Kaz, because Kaz is extremely passionate, very fiery, and like we said, she has a guard up. But at the end of the day, I think she has the guard up because she does have so much empathy, and she does genuinely care about the women around her and does want to support them and be their voice. So a lot of people, because I told you this before, people have been hanging for me to get you on one of our Facebook Lives, and they've asked time and time and time again how you, as the actor playing that role, channel that level of passion and sometimes anger and rage.
I just want to say I know there are a lot of people out there that really dislike Kaz, and I get it, and it's okay, because that's the beauty of drama. How do I channel that? A lot of research, and also there's the thing too where every single one of us have been through, in our life, childhood, whatever, bullying, humiliation, scorned loves, things that just made us feel belittled and vulnerable and weak and lost. And, those things aren't self-imposed. They're caused by reactions from other people. And so I think you have to marry the breakdown of the character and do your research into, things like borderline personality disorder, which is it wasn't described as Kaz's breakdown, but I feel like I've heard from a lot of you on Insta that her behaviour is very similar to those traits. Also, sexual and domestic abuse, and watching and listening to a lot of women talk about that. And so you have to marry all that research and then find the little hidden cells in you that you suppress to get through life and bring those up on the day. And you literally, whatever scene it is, because you can't go into a scene at Wentworth going, I'm going to play it like this, and then I'm going to say that to that person, and then I'm going to do that. You literally get all that YouTube stuff, the research, the violence, the feelings, the things you've watched people crying about or, overcoming and their strengths and stuff, and then your stuff, put it all on the bench as you're blocking the scene, and then when they call action, just know that everyone's on the bench, emotionally, to be there to react if and when you need it. So that's all I do. I just kind of pull as much out as I can, marry them both, throw them away and just go, guys, are you ready to go in like a little Kaz army, and then just let it come up in scenes. That has never been more fun than scenes with Pamela Rabe. God, what a gift. Look, if I didn't get another acting job in my life, season 4 for me and the stuff with Pamela Rabe was just, so lucky.
Yeah.
So blessed. And she's so giving and so grounded and so there. Like, you completely go to another level, another place, where you'll finish scenes and I don't know, I think sometimes we almost forgot we were Pam and Tam, when cut was called, and it was, let's hug it out.
It's extraordinary.
Beautiful.
And a lot of people ask this, and we talk about it all the time, because she's nothing like Ferguson or the Freak at all.
God no. She's your best naughty friend in the play yard. The one who in front of the teachers looks really good, but the minute the bell goes, watch out. You're going to get busted behind the dunnies doing something. She's gorgeous. Love.
So let's also, while we're talking Kaz, obviously she has a very controversial top dog approach, and it has everyone talking. And, it's very split. So I would say that the split is that people aren't against the non-violence rule because they get what she's trying to achieve.
Yeah.
But the question is, how can you possibly hold top dog status if you don't have the biff to hold as your weapon of control?
I hear. It was really interesting going into this season. But when we go into a season, well, I've only done 2 full seasons, but going into the beginning of season 5, you have meetings with Marcia Gardner, who's our kind of showrunner, and Pino Armenta, our producer, and they literally talk you through all your episodes and your story arc. And so you get a little taste of stuff so that they can kind of pitch to you where you need to be in case you want to get the baton and run somewhere else, which is what I really wanted to do, bash some heads. But this is not my story, it's Kaz's story. So it's really interesting in that with her child abuse, the only woman in her life didn't believe her. And so she's also had a challenging time building female relationships that she can trust. And when she gets them, she rallies them in. Almost, cult is a wrong word, but a crew, a solid crew of a sisterhood that get each other. And yes, she's very principled, but she wants to be the one that changes the pattern from her childhood and to make sure that no other girl, no other woman gets treated the way she did, and any women in her life get the love, the support, the empowerment, and she enables women to believe in themselves, be the best they can, and not just, act out, which is very much what she does too. So I think in season 5, she's trying really hard to be a leader, and I think it's really, really difficult for her. She can see the women around her going, fuck's this shit, like it's not gonna, not gonna hold. And she can see that, and I just feel like she's gritting her teeth going, don't blow, don't blow, don't blow, you can do this. And so I really admire her tenacity, because she's alone in it. And it's like the thing in the schoolyard, when you're isolated, and they say this about women's prisons too, once you're isolated and humiliated, it's the loneliest place to be, and it can break you down. You start getting depressed, you start losing focus, and you start just getting depressed to the point of, what else is there? So I get, the way the prison has been run is through violence, and it's an easy fix and it's a quick fix, but she will not harm a woman like she has been harmed time and time and time and time again. If she does, her life's over. What's the point? That's her only thing to cling to. The only goodness that when she dies, she can say, I achieved this, I did something good, and I stuck by my guns. So it's a crap place to try and be doing this, but hey, she's giving it a go. Red hot go.
I mean, but you can see too, like you said about, this particular
I feel
scene,
for her.
the scene tonight with Tina and Boomer in the kitchen. Yeah. And you can see in Kaz's face, like, when Tina goes, what are you going to do, cry to mummy? And it's like...
Yeah, I
so
want to just...
like,
if you had a penis...
Whoa! Yeah, but the restraint in saying, like... Ugh.
Yeah, so she's got to be a leader.
You can see she's getting frustrated with with the stance she wants to make, she is finding it frustrating because she's not finding her way
Totally.
to make that.
Totally. As Pam's character said to Ali one time about Kaz, you know, she's discombobulated. Loves that scene. Yeah, Ali's like, yeah, discombobulated.
Okay, guys, well, we're going to have some fun now, and we're going to put Tammy to our innocent or guilty game. Da, 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 da,
I'm not telling you why if I happen to be guilty and or innocent.
Okay.
Oh, hang on, right, okay.
All right, you ready?
I'll just start
We're
with
going to start with guilty. All right, you ready? Have you ever been in a fight? You're not going to tell me, are you? Have you ever been called... No. Have you
so Kaz Proctor.
Have you ever called into work sick because you're hungover?
Can't do it. Not in this industry.
Do you have any tattoos? Ooh, everyone else has tattoos. Do you sing in the shower? Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever sent a text to the wrong person?
Oh.
Have you ever been totally freaked out by a fan? Yes. Have you ever done a nudie run?
Is this question from the Logie's preparation day, possibly, people?
Just asking. Innocent or guilty?
I had undies on. I was bored. It took too long in makeup. I'm like, I'm just going for a run.
Have you ever re-gifted a gift?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever considered being on a reality TV series? Never? I'm going to see you on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here? Have you ever gone commando in public?
Is that just without undies on but clothes on?
Guilty. Have you ever dated a castmate? Ooh, guilty. Do you correct fans or people when they call you Kaz in public?
No.
You just answer and go, yeah, call me Kaz.
Yeah.
Nice one. Fastest innocent or guilty game. Yeah,
well, that's the name of the game.
Quick and fast, quick and fast. Because, guys, we want that to go fast so that Tammy can get to your questions.
Okay.
Because now it's your turn
this is the scariest bit.
To take the lead, take the interrogation chair.
Right.
I'm handing over to you.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with Lisa Stamper. She would like to know, who is your bestie on the show?
Lisa Stamper, how are you? Oh, look, they're all my besties a lot. I love them all. Celia and Kate Jenkinson specifically, but I do love them all.
Rosalind Richard. Oh, hang on, it's going too fast. Is there a sense of Kaz in Tammy, and how do you separate your life from acting?
Rosalind. I suppose I have leadership skills. I mean, a friend of mine called me yesterday and said, I'm doing a work conference, and it said, name your idol. And I said Tammy because she's a good leader. And that was quite touching. So I think maybe that, but the rest definitely not. And separating from acting, mostly okay. Wentworth, my therapy is Celia Island once again. I owe you money, Seals. I really do. Something.
At least it's Celia and not, something bad like booze or anything else. At least, that's healthy. Seals,
yeah. You can't drink on this job either.
With a beautiful cup of tea. You can
candles. We have
spray.
relaxing music. We do. See, I've got my little spray, Seals.
Seal spray.
Little rose water spray.
Keeps you all calm.
It's rose water. Okay, next.
Okay. Vicky Scott, what is your favourite moment so far?
Vicky Scott, wow. My favourite moment was, there are three, but two are by default. The favourite moment was when when the freak was trying to drown B, and I just found out that she shopped Kaz, and so ran in there and jumped onto the freak's back and put her hand in the fryer. That was fun, because Pam, once again, was totally available. She's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I really want to jump on your back and smash your arm in there. And she's like, do it. I was like, really? Really? Is your back going to be okay? She's like, do it. I'm like, I love you. So there was that. And also there were two scenes where I literally took a hit, real life hit. One scene was where Ali finds out that I'd said to B that I just sent Ali to you as bait and she never really loved you. And Ali comes into our unit and goes, what did you tell me? And she comes in and she king slaps me across the face. So we have these marks to walk to. So I'm on this mark stationary. She's got to walk in and stop at this mark because her arm is this long and will just hit in front of my face to, not hit me. And so all going really well. We're about to shoot it. And I just had a feeling, and I said to KJ, I said, listen, if by chance you do hit me, keep going. Just keep going. She's like, no, fine, no, I've got this. And she walks out ready for action, and the director, Kevin Carlin, said, just slow it up a bit, Kate, slow it up. She went, yeah, fine, and action. Comes in, what did you tell me? Overstepped her mark. So and she overstepped it, the arm went, and I just got a massive king hit and sent me to the floor. And she's like, oh my God. Stopped the scene. I was like, what did I tell you? Just keep going. That one, and then in a fight in the cafeteria, I think I was distracting B so that Freak could put something in B's drink when she was going to kill her before the drowning. So we had to do this fight thing and all of us got into a kerfuffle. And it was Dan and I. And somewhere in there, I got hit, but I didn't realise it was all too fast. And we go back to our tables and we have this stare off. And I've done my close-up. So we're doing a close-up on Dan, watching her look at Kaz going, bitch, whatever. And she looks at me and I can feel this blood just trickling down my face. And I'm not on camera. It's Dan. And I can see her face go. And like she keeps that. I'm just like, keep going. Blood pouring. Cool cut. I'm like, beautiful.
Awesome.
So, sorry I rambled.
No, we love these stories. This is what this is all about.
So they were kind of fun.
Katie, I think I pronounce it. I hope I pronounce it right, Katie. Katie Leroy. Tell me, what do you do in your spare time on set?
Katie Leroy, what do I do in my spare time on set? We don't really have you've got to do a lot of amendments and a lot of script work or rehearsals. So it's good that while you're there and you're being paid for the day, just to get in and really go over your scenes and make sure everything ties in with what you've done in the last episode. Chat to directors. Yeah, just keep doing work on it because it requires a lot of you. You can't just kind of rock into Wentworth and go, oh, I say this today. Awesome. You've really got to have 4 or 5 levels going on because in every scene, as you know, there is an innate tension to everything where everyone's watching their back. So you might just be saying, one set of dialogue to one person, but behind you someone's, wanting to kill you, and over there someone's doing a deal, and so it's good to kind of break down everything and read between the lines and then, just do the work.
Justin Dowdle. Oh, hang on.
Justin Dowdle.
Throughout your career, you've always played good characters. How do you feel about playing a badass character?
Justin. Hi, Justin. I love it. I really love it. I love the physicality of it. Not that I'm getting much of that this season. But that's okay. Hopefully she'll bring good and she'll be a good character this season. But I really, really, really love it. Is that bad?
No.
I love it.
No.
Thanks for asking.
Here's a cool one. Haley Rose Edwards wants to know, what's your favourite food, Tammy?
Haley Rose Edwards. What a beautiful name. My favourite food is, at the minute, it's all protein because as you get older, you start to absorb sugar and carbs and, get a little bit wider. And the camera doesn't help. That, adds another 3 kilos. So it's boring. But mangoes too.
All mangoes. Riley Gray, were you excited when you got the call for Wentworth?
Yes, I was. It was really interesting because there was talk of this series for a long time, and there was a lot of social media talk about, oh, what about Tammy MacIntosh? What about Tammy MacIntosh? My name was associated with it, but I was never in there. So yeah, I was excited, but I was also really scared because it's a tight, really well-run ship, and the quality is exceptional, and I just didn't know if I'd be able to, play at the same weight. So yeah. Bit of both.
Oh my goodness, these questions, guys, are amazing, and there's so many of them coming in. It's out of control.
Thank you. How many from overseas are up right now where it's 4 a.m?
There's quite a lot.
Wow.
And these questions are really good, so I'm trying to get to as many as I can.
Okay.
Here's a cool one from Jodie Webb. What scene was your worst scene that you had to do and really didn't want to do? Because you talked about one of your favourites. What's your worst?
Yeah, the worst one was with Pam at the end of episode 5, season 4, where she relives. Oh my God, it's so extraordinary to feel the emotional cells that I had for scenes come back up when I have to talk about it like this. It's really, what a bizarre job I have. The scene where she's talking to Pam about whether, because she says, I loved my dad, does that make me a freak or a psychopath? Or I can't remember the dialogue, but she's basically saying, in spite of what he did, I loved him. You know, it was still her dad. Yeah. So that was a really, really hard scene to do. And our director at the time, Jet Wilkinson, who's US right now doing every other show over there, likes to spring stuff on me. We have a history. And so she'd whisper things in Pam's ear and say, don't tell Tammy, but when you do this scene, say this or say that. So I did a couple of takes and thought I'd nailed it and thought we had it. And then there was another one to go and I was like, I don't know if I've got that in me again. I really don't. And she told Pam to whisper to me at the end, I will never leave you. And then I just lost my shit within the scene. So that was a really hard scene. Thanks for asking.
The questions
Sensational
are so
questions.
good.
Thank you. Really
okay, I'm still going, guys.
It's hot. It is hot in here now. I know
Yeah.
why Seals was
Because
going.
I'm putting the pressure on. Because I'm a good interrogator.
I'm going to spray my stuff.
Goodness me, this is hectic.
Oh,
this is just.
And then I'm going to drink some coffee.
Kaz Proctor hectic.
So I'm normally in bed by now.
Here's a great one from Brandy Garbett.
I love these names.
I know.
They're
very
so
exotic.
sassy.
What's the most important lesson you've learnt from Kaz?
Wow, Brandy.
How cool is that question?
I hadn't thought. What's the most important lesson I've learned from Kaz? I'd like to learn this lesson from Kaz. I don't know if I have, because I don't know if she has. How to forgive. I don't know if that makes sense because I haven't learnt it yet. Oh, I don't know, Brandy. Can we get her details and can I get back to her? That's a really
We'll park that, Brandy.
Intelligent question, and I'm sorry I haven't got the...
We'll park it, and I'll tell you what, Brandy, Tammy will let me know and I'll come back to you.
Sorry, okay? Brandy, but it's such a great question. I don't want to not give it thought.
Come back in.
I love that question.
Oh my goodness, these questions are all really good. Someone wants to know, are you mean in real life? No. She's not mean in
unless
real
you
life.
leave your bathroom towel wet on the floor with your undies, and then it gets a little bit ugly. It's like, God, just put it in the washing basket.
Kath, I'm going to try and pronounce your surname, Kath, to Jack.
Hi, Kath.
What do you miss most when you're not filming each season? What do you miss most not being on set? I'm assuming she's meaning.
You know what? Once you're off that set and you get your life back, I kind of don't miss much. When we finally get the call, like minutes before we've got to go back, I start getting excited again. But it's one of those jobs where you go to work, it's because it's 5 months in Melbourne, so I'm away from home anyway, but you go there and you inhale and you almost don't exhale until the 5 months are over, and at the end you go, oh my God, I did it. I survived. So I don't mean to be mean, but I don't miss much because I love my hubby and my son and my dogs and my chooks and, just doing not much except being a mum.
Having some downtime.
Yeah, it's good.
Look at this one. This lady's called Beck Sinclair.
Beck Sinclair.
And this is going to freak you out. Tammy, you look so beautiful at the Logies. I was the fan in the stand distracting you while you were being interviewed by Kel, and then you and Kate acknowledged me and turned the camera around.
Beck was behind you, Kelly, and I was chatting to you while you were chatting to me.
And then we got Tom to turn the whole camera around.
Sweetie, thank you so much for coming down to see us.
And
you were fun.
Her question for you is,
oh right,
Tammy, where do you get your inspiration from? Who inspires you?
you know what, just real women. This is a weird story. I went to the dentist today, and the secretary there had been through a really hard time recently, like a really hard time. So much so that I held her and we both had a cry. Real life people with their real life struggles who just get up each day and keep going and find a way to keep going. When some days you don't want to get out of bed, when some days you just don't know what you've done to deserve what seems like, you know, constant shit coming your way. Those women in particular really, really inspire me. Not celebrities, not musicians. I mean, I love music, but just everyday women, mums, you know, doing it tough. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Thanks, Beth.
I like that it's no one. Yeah, I like that. Look, I've got to just give a shout out to our friend Aisha, because people are all saying, Aisha loves you, Aisha loves you, Aisha loves you. And
Aisha was the first person, weren't you, ever to love Kaz, when I just thought, I am going to be hated into eternity. And you were the only person for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks who would post good things and back Kaz when you got no likes, none at all, and you hung in there. And I will be forever grateful for that. And, you know, and for Kaz. But, shout out, gorgeous. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
My goodness. Here's a kind of cool one from a fellow Tammy Wade.
Hi, Tammy Wade.
Is there any scene that you've done that you've had a hard time doing because you felt like Kaz would have done it differently, or you could have approached it differently?
You know what? I was really thrown by all this top dog non-violent stuff. And it took me, I think it took me until at 5 to kind of get my discomfort was measuring Kaz's discomfort. And because sometimes you go into scenes and you go, oh, I don't feel like I'm where I should be. But then you kind of go, well, where should I be? And it's a great lesson I learnt off a dramaturg who is someone that, you know, comes in. I did a show called Wild Side years and years ago. And you get to work some days and you have to rehearse these things, and he'd make you do these funny acting exercises. And I've never trained. I didn't go to a drama school. I wasn't a tree. I didn't do Shakespeare. I'm just kind of school of life. And one day I went in there and I just did not feel like doing these stupid acting exercises. I'm like, nah, I'm not in the mood. I'm pissed off because of this, that, and that. And the dramaturg went, well, be pissed off. Whatever you're pissed off about out there in the real world, bring it to this scene, whether it's about this scene or not, and just use it. Because that truth will back up the character's truth, and it will all land the right way. So I had that stuff with the non-violent stuff, and, you know, being in those scenes with the entire dining room just giggling at me playing Kaz, you know, was humiliating, and I felt it, and it was like, all right. No, I'm feeling it for Kaz, but then I'm kind of going home at night going, God, I've got to wear what Kaz is wearing too, because I'm in there as Kaz. So that stuff has been really difficult, and it's been difficult to really grab her philosophy of not hurting a woman. And the more I've come through this season, the more I've really gone, you know what? I dig what she's doing. I'm really digging it now. But it took me a bit. So that was difficult for me.
Here's a cool one from Claire, because you know what, Claire? This is a question that I had for Tammy too, because Tammy sneaked out of my lives at the Logies, which I asked all the cast this question, so I'm interested to know too. What Foxtel show do you like to binge on? And it can't be Wentworth, because we already know that you've been on that.
The Missing, because I love a thriller. It's a BBC first show about child abduction. I know, dark. Love that. Also loved Quarry. Also loved Queen of the South. Also loved Big Little Lies. Anything else I've got in the planner?
Big Little Lies was good. Queen of the South was good.
Queen of the South was extraordinary.
It's coming back for season 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Quarry, Damon Harriman, Australian
Quarry.
actor, incredible. I don't think many people have seen it, but he's so good in it.
I really liked Quarry.
Yeah. So those ones.
Cool. I'm going to only ask a couple more, guys, because We need to get on to our Fast 15. Casey Howe, is there a prankster on set?
Kate Jenkinson. Kate Jenkinson. I keep joking that she's the rat, but she has this innate ability to lie really well, and I always believe her because I want to. And Robbie. Oh my God, Robbie. Yep.
Yeah, they're the biggest pranksters.
Robbie, massive geezer, as we call him on set.
Annette Vicky, what career would have you chosen if you weren't an actor?
Annette Vicky?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Annette, how are you? I actually wanted to be a dentist.
Is that
you
why
tell?
you have these bonding moments with your dentist?
Yeah, I love dentistry. I really wanted to be a dentist. I don't know why. It was just weird. And then I wanted to be a dancer for Madonna because I danced when I was a kid. And then I just kind of fell into acting from dancing. I'll tell you a story really quickly. Zoe Ventura, do we all know who she is? Packed to the Rafters, just married Daniel McPherson.
Mm-hmm.
I've known her since she was in her mother's belly because her mother is Ruth Osborne, who was my dance teacher. And so her mother would be teaching our dance class with this belly like this, standing on one foot, leg up here like this, with a little Zoe Ventura inside her belly. So, dancer or a dentist?
That's cool. And I'm going to say lucky last question because it is a good
I'm
one.
sorry, and I wish I could stay forever and answer them all. I really do.
And it's going to Claire Sugarland Thomas because it's a cool name.
Yay, Claire Sugarland Thomas!
If you could invite 5 people to a dinner party, dead or alive, who would you choose?
Mother Teresa. Oh, I've never been asked this question. Mother Teresa, my dad, because he died when I was very young. Oh, come on, I haven't got a brain. My brain is just like going. Think. A musician. Oh, Einstein. Trying to think of like beautiful, famous women from history. I can hear you all shouting out stuff. What are they saying? Help me!
No, it's your dinner party. We've got Einstein
my dinner party.
there.
We need some music. I can't think of a name. Large, wonderful black singer. I feel bad.
Aretha Franklin.
Yes, Aretha Franklin would be great. She'd be great. How many have I got now?
3.
3. I'm so hot in here. I can't bear it. I feel like I'm in a sauna. I'm melting.
Come on, 2 more.
Five.
I think you need someone funny there because you need to have a lightened mood.
Oh, come on. Celia, say something. Help me. Someone funny.
You're all on your own.
I can't think.
Robin Williams.
Oh, Robin Williams would be great. Thank you for the help.
And last but not least.
Oh, Nelson Mandela.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a pretty good dinner
I'm
party.
so sorry. That was just like a brain strike.
Well, it's a hard choice. I mean, it's anyone in the world. I wouldn't have been able to pick that fast, but that's why I asked you the question because I'm the interrogator.
But it does get really hot in here.
Yes, because you're under the spotlight. You're in intense questioning. All right, thank you all so much for your questions, and we will get back to that one question that we couldn't get back to, and we really do appreciate it. But we do have to get to the Foxtel Final 15 and let Tammy get out of this heat box and go home.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching the show and supporting it. You know, so much love. Thank you.
All right, are you ready for your Final 15?
Am I ready?
Here we go.
Do I use this?
You don't have to use this. It's just a either or.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Sydney or Melbourne?
Oh, both.
No.
One for food, one for beach.
Okay. Beer or wine?
Oh, neither.
Governor Ferguson or Governor Bennett?
Bennett.
Phone
She
call.
rocks this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she rocks this season.
Kate is owning it.
Extraordinary.
Phone call or text?
Depends.
No, it's an either or.
Text.
Yeah, me too. Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Driver. TV or book?
Book.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Heels or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Dine in or dine out?
Oh, it's a
Very
big stretch.
flexible.
Dine out. Don't want to do the dishes.
Fries or salad?
Salad.
Loud or quiet?
Right now, some quiet.
Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
And this is the lucky last one. It's 3 options. Blondes, brunettes or redheads?
For what purpose?
Which one? Do you like best? Blondes, brunette, redheads?
Well, it depends on the person and the heart and the
no,
character.
we're just going by hair colour.
No, because then I'm going to alienate them. I love you all. Redheads, brunettes and blondes.
Copped
You're
out.
all hot and amazing and gorgeous.
Cop out. Well, Tammy,
It's not a
you have
cop-out.
been nothing short of amazing, and the feed tonight has been on fire. Thank you so much for coming
my
and doing this with
pleasure.
us and
Thanks for
letting us
having me.
interrogate you. We are looking forward to what happens to Kaz in the coming episodes and where Kaz's journey goes this season. So thank you for bringing us such an amazing character to follow. And
Guys, look, put your seatbelts on because from here on in, it's relentless. Oh, and shout out to Libby Tanner's stuff
yes,
with Nicole. She's breaking my heart. The two of them as Bridget, breaking my heart. Sorry, I forgot to mention her.
Tammy literally
Incredible.
cried watching today's scene.
I did, and
Legit.
I've said to her many times, you know, your work is extraordinary, and because she's not main cast, I think she often gets overlooked. But relentless journey from here on in. Hang in there. And we'll see you at the end.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tammy.